Something unprecedented is happening at motorcycle dealerships across America, and the American manufacturers don't want to talk about it. For the first time in over 30 years, Honda is outselling Harley-Davidson at dealerships that carry both brands. Not just outselling a little, outselling by margins that should terrify Milwaukee. Multi-brand dealerships that used to move 10 Harleys for every 3 Hondas are now selling 8 Hondas for every 4 Harleys. And in some markets, Honda has completely taken over as the volume leader, while American Iron sits collecting dust. I'm Jimmy, and today I'm exposing why this shift is happening, what it means for the future of American motorcycles, and why dealers are quietly celebrating Honda's dominance while publicly staying loyal to Harley and Indian. Because this isn't about patriotism or heritage, this is about profit, reliability, and a customer base that's finally done paying premiums for problems. Here's what the industry doesn't want you to know. Let me start with the numbers, because without the data, this sounds like speculation. According to the Motorcycle Industry Council's 2025 year-end report, Honda sold roughly 137,000 motorcycles in the United States. Harley-Davidson sold approximately 118,000 units. That's a 19,000 unit gap, and it's the first time since the early 90s that Honda has outsold Harley in annual sales volume in America. But here's where it gets really interesting. When you break down the data by dealership type, the shift is even more dramatic. Multi-brand dealerships that carry Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Harley, and Indian are reporting that Honda represents 32 to 38% of their total unit sales, while Harley represents 18 to 23%. In real terms, that means a dealership that moves 300 bikes per year is selling roughly 100 Hondas and only 60 Harleys. This isn't happening because Honda launched some revolutionary new model that took the market by storm. This is happening because Honda has a broad lineup of bikes at multiple price points. They're reliable, they hold value, and most importantly, customers can actually afford them. Meanwhile, Harley and Indian have priced themselves out of reach for most American riders and bet everything on an aging demographic that's shrinking every year. Dealers are seeing this in real time. The average Honda buyer walks in, test rides a bike, negotiates a fair price, finances it or pays cash, and rides away happy. The average Harley buyer walks in, loves the bike, sees the price, tries to negotiate, gets hit with dealer markups and fees, struggles to get financing approved, and either walks away or buys a used Harley instead. Honda is closing sales, Harley is losing them, and dealers notice. Reason 1. Price reality is destroying American brands. The first and most obvious reason Honda is outselling American bikes is simple. Honda builds motorcycles that working people can actually afford, while Harley and Indian build motorcycles for retirees with disposable income. Let me show you exactly what I mean with a direct comparison. The Honda Rebel 500, one of their best-selling models, has an MSRP of $6,999. It's a modern, fuel-injected, liquid-cooled parallel twin with ABS, LED lighting, and a 2-year warranty. It's perfect for new riders, commuters, and experienced riders who want something simple and reliable. Dealers sell tons of these because the price point works. A buyer with decent credit can finance a Rebel 500 for around $130 per month over 5 years. Now compare that to the Harley-Davidson Sportster S, which is Harley's entry into the mid-displacement market. MSRP is $15,499, more than double the Honda. Yes, it's a bigger engine and more powerful, but it's also twice the price for a bike aimed at the same general market segment. A buyer financing the Sportster is looking at $280 to $320 per month, depending on their rate and term. For a lot of buyers, that's the difference between affordable and impossible. Move up to the mid-range cruiser segment, and the gap gets even worse. The Honda Shadow Phantom, a proven, reliable shaft-drive cruiser, lists for $8,999. A comparable Harley Softail standard starts at $15,249. That's a $6,300 difference for bikes that do essentially the same job. Buyers aren't stupid. They can see that they're paying a 70% premium for a Harley badge, and more of them are deciding that's not worth it. At the premium end, it's even more absurd. A fully equipped Honda Goldwing Tour with every feature, all the technology, legendary reliability, and a reputation for going 300,000 miles costs around $31,000. A fully loaded Harley Road Glide Ultra or Street Glide Limited is $48,000 to $52,000. You're paying $20,000 more for the Harley, and you're getting a bike that's statistically less reliable, has higher maintenance costs, and will be worth half what the Goldwing is worth in 5 years. Dealers see this every day. A customer walks in wanting a touring bike, they sit on the Harley, they love it, they see the price, and they walk over to the Honda. They realize the Goldwing does everything better except the exhaust note, costs $20,000 less, and won't nickel and dime them in the service bay. They buy the Honda, the dealer makes the sale, Harley loses. Reason 2. Honda builds bikes people actually want to buy. The second reason Honda is dominating multi-brand dealerships is product lineup. Honda has a bike for every type of rider at every budget level. Harley and Indian have cruisers and baggers for people over 50 who want to cosplay as outlaws on the weekend. That's not a broad strategy, and it's killing them. Honda's lineup covers the entire market. You want a beginner bike? Honda has the Rebel 300 and Rebel 500, the CB300R, the CBR 500R. You want a commuter? The CB500X, the NC75UX, the CB650R. You want a sport bike? The CBR 600RR, the CBR 1000RR. You want adventure? The Africa Twin in multiple configurations. You want touring? The Goldwing. You want a retro standard? The CB 1000R and the Hawk 11. You want off-road? The CRF lineup from 250 to 450. Every one of these bikes is reliable, well-engineered, parts are available everywhere, and any mechanic in America can work on them. Compare that to Harley's lineup, which is cruisers, baggers, and the Pan America adventure bike that nobody's buying. Or Indian's lineup, which is cruisers, baggers, and the FTR that's being discontinued. They've put all their eggs in one basket, and that basket is getting smaller every year. Honda also understands that younger riders and budget-conscious buyers want smaller displacement bikes that are fun, efficient, and affordable to insure and maintain. The Rebel 500 and CB500X are massive sellers because they hit the sweet spot of capability, efficiency, and price. Harley killed the Sportster 883 and replaced it with the $15,000 Sportster S, completely abandoning the entry-level market. Indian doesn't even have a bike under $13,000. They've both decided that if you can't afford a premium bike, you're not their customer. Honda said, if you want a motorcycle, we'll build you one you can afford. Dealers love this because it means consistent sales volume. They can sell 3 Rebel 500s in the time it takes to sell 1 Harley Softail, and those 3 Honda sales add up to decent profit, consistent floor traffic, and customers who will come back for their next bike. Harley and Indian are counting on big margin, low volume sales to fewer and fewer buyers. That's not a sustainable strategy. Reason 3. Reliability destroys brand loyalty. Here's the part that Harley and Indian owners don't want to hear, but dealers see it every single day. Honda motorcycles are more reliable than American motorcycles, and that reliability gap is driving buying decisions. When a customer can choose between a bike that'll run 100,000 miles on oil changes versus a bike that'll need a $5,000 engine rebuild at 30,000 miles, they're choosing reliability. And they're choosing Honda. Honda's reputation for reliability isn't marketing hype. It's decades of proven performance. Goldwings routinely go 200,000 to 300,000 miles on basic maintenance. Shadows go 150,000 miles without major issues. Rebels, CB500s, Africa Twins, all of them have reputations for being bulletproof. Owners report that they change the oil, replace the tires, and the bike just keeps running. No drama, no catastrophic failures, no expensive dealer visits for warranty work. Compare that to Harley's recent track record. The Milwaukee-Eight engine has had cam and lifter issues. The Pan America has had electrical problems and stalling issues. Older twin-cam motors were notorious for premature failures. Indian has had cam and lifter problems across their Scout and Chief platforms. These aren't isolated incidents. These are widespread problems affecting tens of thousands of bikes, and the internet has made sure every potential buyer knows about them. Dealers are stuck in the middle. A customer comes in interested in a Harley or Indian, they Google the model, they find forums full of owners complaining about engine failures, expensive repairs, and poor dealer support, and they get cold feet. Then they look at the Honda sitting next to it, Google that model, and find forums full of owners with 100,000 miles saying, "Best bike I ever owned. Never had a problem." The sale goes to Honda. This reliability gap also affects the service department, which is a huge profit center for dealers. Honda owners come in for scheduled maintenance, oil changes, tire replacements, valve adjustments at high mileage. Predictable, low-cost services that keep customers happy. Harley and Indian owners come in for warranty claims, catastrophic failures, and expensive repairs that cause friction between the customer, the dealer, and the manufacturer. Nobody's happy. The customer's pissed their bike broke. The dealer's fighting with the manufacturer over warranty coverage. The manufacturer is trying to minimize payouts. Dealers would much rather sell reliable bikes that generate steady service revenue than problem bikes that generate complaints and warranty headaches. Honda delivers the former, American brands deliver the latter, and dealers are voting with their floor space and sales efforts. Reason 4, Honda buyers actually ride their bikes. Here's something most people outside the industry don't realize. The average Harley-Davidson owner rides less than 1,500 miles per year. The average Honda owner rides over 4,000 miles per year. That difference matters enormously to dealerships, and it's another reason Honda is outselling American brands. Why does mileage matter? Because riders who actually use their motorcycles buy gear, buy accessories, come in for service more frequently, upgrade to new bikes sooner, and generate ongoing revenue for the dealership. A Honda Rebel owner who commutes year-round will buy multiple sets of tires, regular oil changes, maybe a windscreen, saddlebags, heated grips, and they'll trade up to a CB500X or Africa Twin in 3 years when they want more capability. A Harley owner who rides 1,500 miles per year, buys the bike, maybe some branded t-shirts and a leather jacket, comes in once a year for an oil change, and keeps the bike for 10 years because they are not putting enough miles on it to justify trading up. From a dealer's perspective, that's a one-time sale with minimal ongoing revenue. The Honda customer is an annuity. The Harley customer is a transaction. This also affects how dealers allocate their sales efforts. Salespeople focus on customers who are actually going to ride because those customers buy more, refer friends, and come back. The guy buying a Harley to park in his garage and polish twice a month isn't a valuable long-term customer. The woman buying a CB500X to commute 50 miles a day is someone the dealer wants to build a relationship with. Honda's bikes also appeal to practical riders who see motorcycles as transportation, not lifestyle statements. These are people who want fuel efficiency, reliability, and low operating costs. A Honda CB500X gets 70 miles per gallon. It costs $30 to fill the tank, and that lasts 500 miles. Compare that to a Harley Road King that gets 40 miles per gallon and costs $55 to fill up for 300 miles of range. Over a year, the Honda saves a commuter over $1,000 just in fuel costs. Practical riders do the math. They realize that a $15,000 Harley that gets poor fuel economy, needs expensive maintenance, and depreciates quickly is a bad financial decision compared to an $8,000 Honda that's cheap to run and holds its value. They buy the Honda, dealers sell the Honda, and Harley wonders why their market share keeps shrinking. Reason 5. Dealers make more profit on volume than margin. Here's the dirty secret that dealerships won't say out loud, but absolutely drives their sales strategies. It's more profitable to sell 10 Hondas at modest margins than 3 Harleys at high margins, and the math proves it. A dealership makes around $800 to $1,200 selling a mid-range Honda. They make around $1,800 to $2,500 selling a mid-range Harley. On paper, the Harley is more profitable per unit, but in reality, the Honda strategy wins. Why? Because Honda sales are consistent, predictable, and require less sales effort. A customer interested in a Rebel 500 walks in, test rides it, negotiates a reasonable price, and buys it. Total time from first contact to sign paperwork is maybe 2 to 3 hours. A customer interested in a Harley walks in, falls in love with the bike, gets sticker shock, tries to negotiate, gets hit with dealer fees and add-ons, struggles with financing, and either walks away or spends 6 to 8 hours over multiple visits grinding through the process. Even if the Harley sale happens, it tied up a salesperson for days, stressed out the finance manager, and probably involved factory incentives or dealer discounts that ate into the margin. The Honda sale was clean, fast, and easy. A good salesperson can sell 3 Hondas in the time it takes to close one Harley deal. 3 Honda sales at $1,000 each is $3,000 in gross profit. One Harley sale at $2,200 is less total profit and way more work. Volume also matters for service department revenue. 10 Honda customers means 10 people coming in for oil changes, tires, and accessories. 3 Harley customers means fewer service visits and more warranty claims that don't generate profit. The Honda customers are also more likely to buy their next bike from the same dealer, creating repeat business. Harley customers are more likely to shop around, buy used, or leave the brand entirely after one bad experience. Dealerships are businesses, and businesses follow profit. When the data shows that Honda generates more consistent, sustainable profit than Harley despite lower per unit margins, dealers adjust their strategies. They give Honda bikes better floor placement. They train salespeople to push Honda to budget-conscious buyers. They stock more Honda inventory and less Harley inventory. And Honda's sales numbers keep climbing while Harley's keep falling.